So I just want to start off by apologising for last week's mess of a podcast. It was not the ideal podcast that we wanted to do, and there wasn't much F1. It was more insulting F1 drivers and saying they look like genitalia. So we all apologise for that.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry.
But welcome back to the podcast, guys. It is episode number 13, unlucky 13. But I'm sure none of us are superstitious. But yeah, we're doing a midweek podcast for the first time. It's quite a lot of news this week, so we thought we'd do a midweek podcast. And I'm joined by my usual guests/hosts, Causa LFC and December. And my dog has just walked into the room, so you've interrupted everything. Thank you, dog. So yeah, we thought we'd do a midweek podcast because there's been so much going on, and of course we've got to talk about the Halos first. It's everyone's been talking about it all over social media. What are your guys' first thoughts on the whole thing?
Can I just say one thing first before we speak about the Halo? Firstly, it's Monday. It's not really midweek. Secondly, the Halo looks awful. It does look awful. It's horrific.
It was the worst timing ever to release the Halo statement. I mean, the podcast was just released, and 5 minutes later, FIA goes, "Hey, we got something new."
Everyone missed it, didn't they, with their podcast? It was great.
We could have been the first ones to report it. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, because we recorded it late as well, didn't we?
Yeah, and then the FIA goes, "Oh, let's listen to the first podcast," and then they hear something with testicles.
Oh God.
Yeah, but I think everyone's been kicking off saying that it's not needed. F1 should be open cockpit. It's been like that for years.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Should they keep it? Well, it's going to be kept. You know. What are your thoughts from a fan's point of view, and also, I guess from a game point of view? When we play the F1 2017 game, it's going to be in there. What do you think about it?
The thing is the Halo worked, but it looks awful. The Shield works, but it looks good, but it made them dizzy. I just think there needs to be. I think all 10, whatever they're called. I can't even remember what they're called.
Teams?
No, not teams. I was thinking of like the big guys, like Christian Horner.
The team boss.
That's it. I couldn't think of the word. They literally just need to get in a room with Ross Brawn and Chase Carey and just sit there all day until they work out something that looks better. Because I'm sure all of the teams aren't going, do you know what makes our car look really beautiful? Is this big Halo thing that's now attached to our car. It just doesn't, does it? It looks awful.
No.
It looks awful. But not just like outside of the car, like cockpit cam, ruined. Onboard camera, ruined. T-wing cam, ruined.
Yeah,
and I agree with you there, December.
From a gaming point of view, you need to play in broadcast cam.
Oh,
although the only upside, and it's a really small one, is they can put sponsors on there. That's the only thing that the teams can be like, all right, fair enough.
Yeah, what I don't get about the whole Halo thing, because I'm in the middle here between it's a good and a bad idea with having it or not. But my what I don't get is they had the Shield, the sort of half visor one that Fry tested last week, and the Halo, and it seems like such a rushed decision from the FIA to go for the Halo.
Yeah,
because that's the one that was tested the most. But they've still got another 10 races to practice and use the different devices. Surely there must be other designs out there they could potentially use to have that. I just think they've rushed it. And was it Ferrari were the only team out of the 10 teams to say yes to it? Yeah. So I'm just thinking they could have taken their time and done a better job.
But I mean, also like they tested the Shield how many times? 2 times? 3 times tops?
It wasn't enough.
Yeah, it feels like a very. It's a decision to make it look like they're trying to, do something good, and they've sort of ended up messing it up a little bit by doing it very quickly, with very little testing, with very little feedback. It's
Even Hamilton hated it. I'm sending you a picture right now.
Ken's in with the images.
You'll see it on screen,
Yeah.
guys.
Even Hamilton hates it. So he was against it. Only Ferrari was I don't know.
To be fair, I don't think Hamilton can say anything with that hair. Have you seen the hair?
Yes, I'll put that on
Oh,
the screen
God.
as well.
Yeah, I don't
yes,
think
it's
Hamilton could
awful.
say anything, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, one thing I was just thinking, with the Halo, why didn't they put it in a lower category first? Why didn't they put it in F4 or F3?
That's not a bad
just
shout.
to see how it goes. Because usually, let's say football, with the sin bins they're trying to introduce, they're doing it in lower leagues with.
Yeah.
With the video referee, they did it in the Confederations Cup, which is not a it's not a proper competition like the World Cup or the Euros, but they're implementing it into not less important things. So surely you'd see that in the lower formulas, and then if it goes well, and if it stops a spring hitting someone or a tyre, then you go, okay, it worked in F3, let's now put it in F1, but they're not doing that, which it confuses
Baffles me. Because you could bring it in for next season. They've still got time to bring it in for next season in F3, and then the season and then everyone can see how it's going, and all of the teams and all of the fans and everything can almost get used to it slowly if it works. So I don't see why they aren't just doing that. It is a good point. I didn't actually think of that, but it is a good point.
Yeah. But as well. Because, of course, this has all come about due to what happened with Jules Bianchi in Japan in, is it 2014? Was it? It's such a long time ago.
Yeah, 2014.
That was a freak accident. With the Halo. If the Halo was on Jules Bianchi's car, it wouldn't have stopped him. He still would be dead. And I'm being brutally honest.
No, you have a point.
Clear here. He would be dead. And... that Halo wouldn't have helped. That was a freak accident. The tractor should never have been there. Aquaplaned. I think he was going too fast, if anything.
It was a freak accident, and you can't stop them. It's what happens. It happens in everyday life. It happens in motorsport. It happens in everything.
Yeah.
So you can't stop stuff like that happening. You just try and help it, which is what the idea of the virtual safety car was brought in for. That was the reaction to that. So why are they bringing in a reaction to something that hasn't happened and most likely won't help with anything? I don't.
Yeah. I
'Cause...
mean, it is a touchy subject when you mention like Jules Bianchi, his crash. But like Duke said, the Halo nor the Shield would have helped.
Yeah.
No.
The only thing it may have helped a little bit is. Reducing the risk. Remember that Alonso crash from 2012 Spa, where Grosjean went over the top of him? That would have much reduced the risk of that. So there is that, but it's I don't know. I think they're rushing a decision that doesn't need to be made.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I don't think there's been enough incidents that allow the Halo to come through. You had. With Alonso, the incident with Massa, the spring still would have hit him if the Halo was there. It would have gone through the gap from what I'm.
Or just hit the Halo and gone underneath because it was low, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. The screen would have stopped that, or the shield, whatever you want. The Red
Shield
Bull
is now I think they're
one.
calling it.
Okay, but that would have stopped it. But the Halo wouldn't. The only thing the Halo is blocking is if a tyre comes off. Which, how many times have we seen a tyre come off and it being hit? In
That's
F1,
what tethers are for.
A long time.
Yeah, not with its headers.
Yeah. It's a tricky subject, but let us know below what you think about the Halo. Is it good or is it bad?
What are the poll sakes? Ken put out a poll, didn't he?
Yeah, I was about to say, what are the polls?
Right, so I put out 4 options, because Twitter only allows 4, apparently. I put pro Halo, pro Shield, leave F1 as it is, and look for other solutions. Pro Halo got the least amount of votes, or at least, we got 62 voters. The least percentage, which is 3, which I want to know.
There's one vote, isn't it?
Yeah. Then we got Pro Shield at 13%. So 29%, almost a third, are look for other solutions. They are like, we could make the sport safer, but this is not the way to go. And I would have to say I agree with those people. And 55% say leave Formula One as it is, with two very interesting
Over
comments.
half, yeah.
Two very interesting comments underneath. One is from @TigerCart, and I think his name is Andy. The Halo has been rushed through, as we were saying. So it's a completely flawed solution that has barely been tested since last year. So, like we were saying earlier, and I think he has a very good point.
It's the feel from most fans, isn't it? Let's be honest.
True. And the second reply is from André Cole. I think he might be Dutch, I'm not sure. But he's got a great Twitter handle. It's Glungus Bungus Dungus.
I like that. He gets his respect.
To be fair, I don't really care until the racing doesn't get bland and the cars are super safe. So yeah.
Yeah. That was also one issue, is that the racing is bland and yet they tried to make it really safe, which is not the way we want to see F1.
The thing is, guys, whatever comes in for 2018, we will still watch F1. We're all diehard F1 fans, and it won't change watching it. It's just, it will be an ugly sight to look at.
Yeah, slightly.
Unfortunately. But actually, will it affect aerodynamics, having that there?
I don't think so. Not the air going through the car. No. I don't think so.
Yeah, just thinking about it, they pushed the air. Yeah, minor. Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. But let us know down below what you guys think.
The shield, they'll be able to work on a lot more aerodynamically because they could push air around the shield and above it into the airbox and around into winglets and stuff.
Yeah. On to the next topic is Robert Kubica.
Kubica, do you mean?
Coming.
I'm sorry.
I know I spelt it wrong when we sorted out this podcast. I was rushed. I had pizza in the oven. Game of Thrones was on as well.
You're obviously writing it with one hand then.
I was, yeah. And yes, I was. Anyway, Robert Kubica is now doing the Hungary tests for Renault. So does that mean well, I think from what the article I read on the BBC Sport website said that if he can fully do it, Renault are highly likely to put him in place for Spa and replace Johnny Palmer.
Yeah, but that's just speculation, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It is.
It's massive speculation because chances are they're not going to do that. They're looking for next season, aren't they? If they need the option, he's there. Is what I reckon.
Yeah.
But to be honest, Johnny Palmer should be absolutely shitting himself. To be honest. Because Kubica's not slow. He was tipped throughout his Formula One thing for being the next big. It was basically Nico Hulkenberg, constantly putting in good performances and constantly being there, and constantly people going, "Well, why is he not in a faster car?" And chances are, when he comes back, he's going to do exactly the same thing and give Hulkenberg a run for his money. But Palmer's not because he's rubbish.
Yeah, exactly. Ken, what's your thoughts on the whole Kubica situation?
The fact that you were right, it is pronounced Kubica. He's Polish.
Yes, it is.
I googled it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it is pronounced Kubica. I mean, if he does, I really would like him to come back to Renault, just to see some driver changes. Because I think Hulk just moved. I don't know. I think there will be some changes at Renault. I don't think they should get rid of Palmer because imagine next year the races do get even more boring. I mean, if we don't have Palmer, then what the hell are we going to do on Twitter?
We still got Stroll. Don't worry.
Oh, you say? I don't know. I think.
Stroll's contracted. He's got it. Yeah, he's paying enough money to stay there.
Yeah, but still, Stroll might... I was going to say something really stupid. I was going to say Stroll might do good, but never mind.
Ain't happening, mate.
But one thing, with it, let's say Kubica gets the seat next year. So Kubica's 32 now. And my concern with F1 at the moment, there are too many old drivers, and there aren't enough spots for young drivers to come through. Because Kvyat is rumoured somehow to have a 2018 seat for Toro Rosso.
Oh God!
Which is exactly
surely not though.
Well, that's what I've heard people saying. But I just feel like you've got the likes of Giovinazzi, Pierre Gasly, Charles Leclerc, Oliver Rowland. There's so many good drivers that aren't getting a drive because all these old guys are still there. Van Dorn and Stroll got in this year, but I just feel like they're not going to get in anytime soon, and they're going to go to different motorsports. We're going to lose some really good drivers.
Yeah, no, but there is only so many seats, isn't there? Let's be honest. Like, there is only so many seats. You can't give every young driver a... December, really irritating.
Whoa, what am I doing?
Guido Van Tegard, unbelievable. You can't give every young driver a seat because it's just not possible to do that. So you've got to look at what are the best young drivers coming through. And Van Dorn was obviously one of the best. You've got Verstappen that's come through in the past couple of years. He's one of the best. Stroll, who will brass over that. Palmer, who wasn't a young driver. Verlaine obviously is. You've got Ocon coming through. So we are getting quite a few drivers through. You've got Giovinazzi who's driven. You've got Gasly who's a reserve. Like, they're not having...
Yeah, but you got Gasly, Leclerc, and Giovinazzi. Yeah, let's say those three. Well, you get Massa who's retiring, Alonso who's retiring, and Raikkonen who's retiring. That's 3 places filled.
You say that, but Raikkonen, I want him to retire, but I can see him going for another season.
I can see him going for another seat if he leaves Ferrari. Massa will retire.
Yeah.
If Massa doesn't retire at the end of this season, and he says next year, let's say he comes back for another season, and next season he says, I'm actually retiring. Yeah, we'll see you in August or whenever we start.
Well, the thing is,
March.
Like Giovinazzi, right? He's a test driver. He's not getting any racing done, so he's just sitting there.
Apart from 2 races.
True. Yeah, he did. True. Yeah. Oh wait. Oh.
Yeah, but he crashed out in one,
and then nearly scored points in the second.
No, he crashed out in China.
Oh, did he? What was the other race he did? Bahrain.
Yeah, he did Bahrain. Yeah.
Well,
what I'm saying is that I feel that he's a Ferrari driver, isn't he? And I just feel that he's not. He's not going to get that Ferrari seat, and you feel like that all these young drivers are just wasting away, and then there's like a build-up of other drivers that are also coming through, and they're not getting the seat because these other guys are there, and it's just a massive backlog. It feels like F1 needs to have a third car each per team.
We need more teams in F1. I think that is one of the issues, is that we do have a lack of teams. We've got 20 seats. Now, mind you, in the past we've had 30 before.
Yes, we have, yeah.
So that is one issue. Secondly is the amount of people coming through, because there are a lot of young drivers coming through, because F1's become a bigger sport.
Yeah.
Through the years. That is another issue. And then you've got a lot of the old guys, which people obviously want. You know, that's been the same throughout history. So, like, obviously you've had people that have won championships at a really old age. So, like, Michael Schumacher was quite old when he retired. So you wouldn't want to get rid of him. The same with Hamilton, Vettel, Raikkonen. Obviously he's still there, but he's still not exactly slow.
Yeah.
Well, Schumacher should have gone.
Yeah, he shouldn't have made his comeback, to be honest.
No. Yeah.
Do we see the likes of Ericsson, for example, staying at Sauber?
Ericsson's not a good driver. He's a paid driver. He shouldn't be there.
Exactly. So
yeah, but Sauber need the money. That's another issue. Is that
the thing is that comes down to cost of F1. That's another topic.
That's one thing that Liberty Media will have to spend a few years, and will have to spend a few years sort of working out, won't they? Because it will take a few years to work out that pay structure.
There is a team that has plenty of money and is pondering about a return to Formula One, and it's Porsche.
Audi sent one of their engine guys to the latest meeting as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
but they're welcome. I mean, 24 drivers. Why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Yeah, that's another thing as well. It's money, because you get these guys who come into the lower teams, got lots of money. They're okay drivers, and then you get the likes of. I know that Oliver Rowland, who is Renault's GP2 driver, he's like third in the GP2 championship. He's got hardly any money. He's just there on pure skill. So he's not going to get a drive unless he's lucky and Renault give him a slot. But then with Renault, you got Kubica, and Sergei Sorokin. So that's
Oh, yeah,
and Palmer's
Sorokin
there
as well, yeah.
Exactly. So it's just they need to like introduce a third car that could, let's say, the young drivers drive and they can't score championship points. They only can score driver points, something like that. Something like that. Because in touring cars, you can have third cars for the final round. I think
That is actually not a bad shout.
But then you think of money, don't you? Like, how much is it going to be to put another car?
Exactly. That's the money that is the issue,
Yeah.
and that's what Liberty Media need to sort out. Is the fact that F1 costs so much, and you get the lower teams
Not helped by
barely
engines.
being able. Yeah, exactly. And that's why Manor went out of business because they just had no money left because the costs were extortionate. So it's they need to. That's one main thing is the money they need to sort out. So.
I think it'd be interesting to see if we're having this conversation in 5 years' time. Because if they're having the same conversation in 5 years' time, it's then an issue. But if Liberty Media have sorted out the costs and then stopped giving Ferrari their special deals and stuff like this with all of the money at the end of the season, and the GPs have all of that's been cut down, and the engines cost has been cut down, and all of that, then it'd be interesting to see not only how many drivers we have piled up in the background, but also how many teams we've got.
Thing I did want to mention was our Twitter questions that we did get in. The first being from IM3GTR. I haven't got Twitter open, but I remember what he said. And he said, "What are our favourite liveries from whatever in F1?" I'll go with Corsa.
You actually literally about 5 before the podcast went, "So, have you been researching liveries?" And we both went, "No, we have not." But yeah, my favourite car livery of all time has got to be Nigel Mansell's Williams FW14 with the yellow and the blue and the white, and it was a beautiful car. It's in F1 2017 as well, which makes me happy. Which makes me very happy.
Yes. Semper?
The Lotus 78 John Player Special.
It's beautiful. It is a beautiful car.
It's a very, very
classic. In F1, what was that? In F1 2013 as well, classic cars.
It's in Project Cars, and it was in another racing game as well.
Nice.
Literally
406.
Literally undrivable, but it looks amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to go for the 1990 Scuderia Ferrari. It's not very.
What colour is it?
Beige.
Beige. Okay.
No, it's really basic. There's not much to it. I think it's more the car that looked great on it.
Okay.
If I was purely going for the livery, I think I have to go for the 7-Up Jordan from 1991, which is quite a bright-looking thing.
And yellow wasn't.
I think. Well, yeah, true. But the Ferrari looks brilliant, and it's in the game as well for F1 2017, I believe, which is perfect.
Funny thing is, all three of us selected classic cars. Well, I mean, like proper classic Formula One cars. Can you see what's missing from any of those cars that we selected?
Anything recent?
Hamilton's not in it.
True. But anything that made you look at people like Nigel Mansell, Niki Lauda, James Hunt, look at them and say, those are absolute legends. Why?
Because they won world championships?
So ballsy.
Exactly, thanks, Cause they have fucking balls.
It's a point, though. It is a point.
Formula One drivers already dress, well, I mean, one Formula One driver in particular, thank God Rickson's not here, already dresses like a football player. Now he's going to act like one too.
That thing. So I was watching Russia the day, and like there was a quote in there that just made me like amazed that when Hunt won his one world championship, he said that on the day that he won it, he was prepared to die to win it. Now you would never hear anyone say that these days, would you?
True. Yeah.
No.
Just wouldn't.
F1's changed a lot.
Yeah.
These days, it's all about money and all the other sorts of things that come into. There's too much politics in F1 these days. That's what it is.
Definitely.
Too much. Well, hopefully they get sorted out over the next couple of years. But we'll have to wait and see, really.
I think they should just make it more dangerous again. Just throw some stuff out there to make it more dangerous. People could.
They should have sprinklers on the tracks.
Oh yeah,
Just
that'd be
turn them
amazing.
off at
I think you
some
should make people take a Joker laugh and then just land on people. Chook.
If anyone doesn't get that reference, check out my first episode of my.
Oh, check out my first episode. Check out his second episode that didn't go as well either.
We can cross self-promotion of the to-do list.
Yeah.
Genuinely written down on it. Ken, would you like to promote any of your videos?
No, I've got a few things coming up, but like somewhere next year.
Yeah, F1 2017. If you guys could watch every single video of Return to Glory, then you are mental. Not even I would watch every episode of Return to Glory, and I made it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think. Oh no, we still got more questions. We got one more question. No, two more.
No, we got two more questions. One is very specific.
One from Jamie. Jamie 183, who was in the Noob Journey. So you haven't watched that.
The fact you've had to explain these in the Noob Journey says a lot.
Shut up. So Jamie's asked, who is my favourite Noob Journey McLaren driver, him or Briggsy? So
the answer's me. The favourite McLaren driver.
Sorry, Causa, is your name Briggsy?
I know someone called Briggsy.
But in the question, it says me or Briggsy.
Oh, calm your tits.
So, sorry, Jamie, but I'm going to go with Briggsy because he made me laugh more than you did.
To be fair, I would go for Briggsy as well.
No.
Same.
So, what we go for?
Same.
Sorry, Jamie.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
And cue the Nick Clegg song.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But both drivers made me laugh in the Noob Journey.
No, they did. Jamie was boring as anything. It was as dry as sandpaper.
Fucking hell.
You were the one watching it. You were the one racing and not finishing the races.
I finished the same amount as I retired and shut up.
So you finished 5?
Yeah. I'm quite happy with that. He says crying.
Sorry, is your name Palmer? You
That's Lance Stroll, mate.
Lance Stroll's finished races, actually.
Yeah, not many, though.
He's finished more than he's crashed.
That's my aim for next season.
Oh, season 3. Woo!
Oh, God.
We're not doing a season 3.
We bet.
No, we hopefully will be doing a season 3. We'll see.
Depends if we can get our act together. Monday.
There was another question.
Sorry. Well,
don't bring it up.
No, not the tube one. Someone asked, I don't know why, but which track we would like back on the F1 calendar with some changes this season.
Magny-Cours. There we go. That's an answer.
No, which one's that one?
France.
Oh, what? No, that's coming back. No,
it's
Paul Ricard.
It's Paul Ricard that's coming back.
Yeah, I just want it back.
Would you like a sudden realization, Causa and Duke?
Oh God.
The German Grand Prix, so the hairpin, won't be on the F1 2017 game.
Because Germany's not in the F1 2017 game.
Yeah.
That's an interesting statement.
Our best Noob Journey race we won't be able to recreate it.
It's sad. I thought that was Monaco. Oh wait.
Not Monaco.
Oh yes, Monaco, the famous parabolica last corner.
Oh, you're such a prick. I hate you all.
Oh, just going around parabolica. Sorry, did I hear that right?
I said it as well, and I looked back and I went, I'm sure it's not parabolica. And then I was actually watching AOR in Monaco, and I saw an image of La Rascas, and I was like, what the hell have I done?
Yeah. But which track would you like back?
I would want Korea, South Korea.
Ooh.
Back. It was always a good race in South Korea. Every time. Yeah, it was there for like 3 years. And the first year, Mark Webb and Rosberg just crashed massively under the safety car when there's mud still on the track from it being built. But yeah, they cancelled it because they ran out of money for building the infrastructure around the track, and they built it on a swamp, so it was slowly sinking.
Oh dear.
So it's not coming back anytime soon, unfortunately. But that would be my track. What would you have, Simba?
Valencia. No, just kidding.
Oh.
No, that's not even a joke, Ken. That's not even funny.
I'm kidding. Imola. I would love to have Imola back.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say you bring back the Dutch track. I don't know the name of it, but it was there for a couple of years.
Zandvoort.
That's the
That
one.
that killed a lot of people.
It did, but it was a good track.
And
It
it
was
would
interesting.
fuck up, it would totally fuck up this country, traffic-wise. I mean, you see what happens when you go to Silverstone, yeah? On the map and, traffic and everything. The Netherlands is a lot smaller. Like, when we get the MotoGP over here, all weekend long, you can't take your car anywhere. And that's totally no offense, but that's MotoGP. It's a very popular sport, but, Formula One is slightly
Better.
bigger.
Less
Bigger.
boring.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Let's
Do you wanna say that again,
just
Corsa?
ride by bicycle around a track.
Let's
It's
just
very
drive my
it's very
car
easy to
around the
overtake in
track.
MotoGP, isn't it? When they're as thin as sticks.
Oh dear.
Right, vote down in the comments. Well, no, actually, no. There's no point because it will all be F1. But surely MotoGP, people like it. I watch
Yes.
it at times.
Yeah,
right?
it is actually quite a good spectator sport, with the tickets being a lot cheaper than Formula One. And that's something Liberty Media can learn of.
In the same way that ice hockey is interesting to watch, but anyway.
Ice hockey
That's
is
not
interesting.
Yeah, if it's interesting to watch, we wouldn't go, oh yeah, I really like ice hockey. You just go, I watch it sometimes.
Okay. All right, Corsa, what sports do you like?
Tennis, football.
Oh, for God's
there you
sake,
go.
he starts
just
with
said
tennis.
Oh, shut up. Leave now.
Excuse me,
You just said
Wimbledon is
tennis.
great. You fuck off.
No, I prefer.
What's
to...
next? Golf?
No.
Yeah, golf. Tiddlywinks.
2020
sorry?
cricket, no.
Shoot ball.
No, because is that even a sport?
Not in the UK. It's a sport in Europe.
No, but
It's technically an activity in the UK.
if you look around, Formula One could learn a lot from how
Oh,
to behave your fans and spectators.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Could, yeah. There's lots of things like NASCAR. Learn from NASCAR. Like
No.
the what they can do.
In
Not the racing.
Okay,
Not the racing.
okay.
The fan experience.
Okay.
In NASCAR, you can take an RV to the middle of the field. Can you imagine parking up at Silverstone with your RV right next to the driver? Like, what up, mate? Want a burger? Like, what? That wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
Would be amazing.
Exactly.
Just, oh yeah, have me barbecue. Oh, and here's Felipe Massa who wants a burger. That would be amazing.
exactly.
Incredible.
Exactly. But yeah, F1 won't see that
No.
in a long time. Unfortunately, but yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Right, with that, I think we should end the podcast on that. Well, yeah, thanks for listening, guys. If you enjoyed it, smash the like button and comment down below what you thought of everything we talked about tonight.
Questions for next week.
Questions for next week? Yeah, we'd love to hear some questions. I will be away, so it will be these three. Probably not, actually be these two.
It's going to be me and
depending
Ken.
on-
I'm going to make sure it's me
Depending
and
on
Ken.
if Hamilton wins next week or not.
That is going to
but
be the most organised podcast
So
you've
check
ever
out my channel for next week for the podcast.
It's still going up on my channel, but
Yeah, you want to bet? What about?
But I know I'm away on a cruise, so I will
Oh
be,
wow,
involved.
unbelievable!
I know. I'll be soaking
No,
in
I'm
the
on
sun
a cruise.
and-
I hope you drown.
I've got two.
You're a horrible person.
Corsa.
You know that, Corsa?
Of course, I know we can get two guests in for next week's episode. I'm thinking Tim Marduk and RBZ.
Yeah, no, I like the idea of that. I'll try and get Ciara you in as well, just to give some Renault hype.
Yeah,
I might
nice.
actually try and get some in just when Chuke's got
Yeah,
it.
just
I
for
could
fans.
try and get Fizzy Fan if you want him, Chuke.
Ooh, fizzy fan, ooh!
Right.
These podcasts are going to kill me one day.
Yeah, I know.
Yep. So don't forget to check us all out on social media, on Twitter and on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Am I missing anything
Just
else?
follow us on everything. Why not?
it's all in the
we're
link below,
actually interesting people.
Just don't follow Rickson on Snapchat unless
No.
you want an overdose of legs on your screen.
Oh look, here are my legs and a picture of himself with all of his girlfriends, and actually it's just a picture of himself.
Oh, what a burn. So we'll end it there. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next week. Good night.